What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the fourth quarter podcast. This is episode 22. Like we told y'all, man, we back for good now. You know what I'm saying? So we just, you know what I'm saying, keeping the ball rolling, doing what we got to do, giving y'all the content I know y'all love and enjoy. Today's episode, we're gonna be discussing we're gonna talk about Philly. We're gonna talk about the Sixers and Ben Simmons' role, and then we're gonna end it off talking about the whole Kyrie situation. If y'all don't know about that, then we'll fill y'all in. Today episode is gonna be kind of like the last episode, the 21st episode. We're gonna keep it a little short, you know what I'm saying? About 45, 40 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But kick it right off. Kenny had brought to my attention. He was basically saying like, oh man, that's on me. Kenny, how you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, dog.
You know what I'm saying? But we gonna kick it off. So he had brought to my attention. He asked, do we think, or do I think, or I guess I can ask y'all too. How do y'all feel about the Ben Simmons shooting situation? Do we think he should take more, or should he continue playing how he plays? And I'm gonna let Kenny kick that off because I don't really know.
Um, I know how I feel with Ben Simmons taking three. I don't think he should be taking threes until he's able to make, and I know what people are gonna say. He has to shoot them to be able to make them. But my thing is, we don't have time for you to practice your jump shots and get in the rhythm. We don't have time for that in regular season games. We don't have time for that. You work on your shots before the game start. And then once you're ready, once you feel like you're ready to knock them down, then let's go ahead and start shooting. And what I'm trying to say is, if he shoots 8 threes right now, he'll probably miss all 8. So that's gonna hurt the team. So just do what you're able to do. And right now, shooting threes, he's not able to do it. He's not able to make threes. So why would you do something you can't do? I mean, it's just he's an above average player without shooting threes. So I don't think he should be shooting threes because I seen him take a three about 2-3 days ago, and it was bad. Like it was a bad miss. It wasn't an air ball, but it might as well should have been an air ball the way he missed his
Oh, you
shot. So
talking about the jet like he just like bounced off the backboard?
yeah. So like I say, my answer is I don't think he should shoot threes because I mean at this point he's in the NBA. He made it into the NBA without being a good shooter. I mean, he's not gonna. He probably won't ever be a shooter. So let's not even stress it. Put shooters around him. That's your best bet, and that's what they did. Put shooters around him, and then let him do what he do. But he probably won't ever be a shooter. So it's no point in him just shooting bricking all day.
um, I disagree on most of your points you said. So for one, I think like so he probably think that he can hit them, and I believe that's why he's taking them. And I am one of those people that say like the only way to see if you can hit it is if you take it. And I feel like in practice he probably like see the thing is when it's not a real game, I think basketball players do more. So like for instance, I think he be at practice hitting like 5 for 10, 3 for 5 at three. So he think, okay, now it's real game. Let me try it. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's no real way to tell if you can hit a three or not in the game other than, you know what I'm saying, actually taking them real time because shooting them at practice, that's not, it won't help because you're a national basketball player. So you obviously can hit a three. He's just one of the worst basketball players at it. But to your question, I feel like if Philly wants to be successful, and I mean like at least make it to the finals coming out of the East, Ben Simmons is going to have to he's going to have to do more offensively because don't get me wrong, he is a good basketball player. Me personally, I don't like him, but I think he is a good basketball player. He's great at defense and he know how to pass the ball, but he's one dimensional offensively. I guess you could say two dimensional because I mean, well, no, one dimensional because I think in a defensive player mind, they know like, okay, either one, you're trying to get to the paint, or two, you're going to pass the ball because we know you're not going to take a mid range. We know you're not going to take a three. So that gives the defense an advantage when you're a one dimensional player like that. So I feel like, yeah, going back to my original statement, Philly is going to have to, for them to be successful, Ben Simmons is going to at least like, can you hit a mid range? Can you knock down a free throw? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to have to do something that'll get the defense guessing right now. It's like, we know what you're gonna do, dude. You know what I'm
I absolutely understand what you're saying. We know what you're gonna do. You're very predictable, Ben
saying? Right.
Simmons. You are.
So like even Joel Embiid said, like, look, I'm the center. I'm still gonna give you a three. Ben, can you give us anything? And that's why, like last year, on the pod, I was saying that if I was the GM or owner or whatever for Philly, I'm keeping Joel. I can go find me a Dennis Schroeder. He can hit two for me. Ben, like Dennis might not pass as good as you or play defense as good as you, but it's like his offense is gonna help us out more. And Dennis Schroeder not a slob on defense either. He can't guard as many positions as Ben can, but yeah, Ben's gonna have to do more, and I feel like he has to start taking threes if excuse me, if Philly wants to be successful. Now, if you're just happy with making playoffs every year, then shoot, go for it. You know what I'm saying? But for them to be super successful, he has to do more.
Yeah.
I don't know if Doc gonna be able to. It ain't no coaching that's gonna change their atmosphere around there in Philly, because yeah, it's just bad.
I think they can get away with him not making threes in the East, maybe. I mean, the East. I'm not sure about the East, so I think the East is wide open, and I'm still going with Philly. Get out the East. So I don't think he has to make a three for them to make the championship, because it's not like pretty much what I'm trying to say is they have other players that are on the court to make threes. So long as you have shooters around him, I think he's able to win without making threes. Now, of course, in a perfect world, it would be nice, Ben Simmons, if you made some threes. We would love for you to make some threes. I would,
Yeah.
most but it's not going to work. It's not going to happen. He's not going to be making threes, guys. Like, don't even stress it. Like, he might. I don't even think he's going to make 10 threes this year. So it's just like, don't stress.
But that goes back into the defensive scheme for, like players, like they draw up plays for Curry, KD, LeBron, because they know they have to stop these great IQ minded players. And Ben Simmons, he does have good IQ, but when you can't put certain things into play, it's like, okay, now you just like, now what? So I do get what you're saying, and I forgot you did say you had Philly coming out of the East. But it's just like, and that's why I give Giannis some credit, even though he lost again after being the MVP. But he even went out there and said, like, I'm gonna knock down a couple threes. Like the last year, the first game we played the Bucks, the Lakers, that is, Giannis, I think he hit like 4 or 5 threes, if I'm not mistaken, and they blew us out. And that's because it's like we can't. Me personally, I think we came into the game mentally prepared, saying like, hey, we gotta build a wall, make sure Giannis don't get in the paint. And he's like, that's what's up, and was splashing on it. So that just goes to show if Ben can do that, it'll open up way more.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, if he starts to make even 30% of his threes, that'll help out a lot. I just think for him to get to that point to where he's an average shooter, I think it's gonna take so long, and it's gonna hurt him in regular season games working on his jump shot, because he pretty much what I'm trying to say. Let's just say he takes 5 threes each game this year. I feel like it's gonna hurt the team, because if he's shooting 5 threes each game, how many do you think he's gonna make out of each five? Like, if he takes 5 threes each game, how many of those you think he's gonna make? Probably none. So even if he's making one, let's just say he goes 1 out of 5 every game from 3-point range, that's still hurting the team, because even 1 for 5 isn't good. That's about Kelly Oubre. So it's like, even if he goes 1 for 5, it's not going to help. But I do get what you're saying. You got to practice it in the game to get the shot. So I do get that part.
One thing I would but see, you're looking at it as misses, which you should, but I'm looking at it as now he's opening up more on the court. You know what I'm saying? So now they're gonna be prepared for those 5 he's gonna take. So I don't think they play him like they played him like his first year or his second year, where they standing at the free throw line while he at the 3-point line. I think they're like not respecting it, but like, well, respecting it a little bit, to where they'll be up on his face. And now he's not gonna get a double team or nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing blasphemous like that. But now I feel like it's creating more offense on the court, because now they have to step up on those 5 threes that he's taking. And hey, he might, you know what I'm saying? Like to me, it just opens up more things for him to do when he starts taking more shots. Because, and I do get what you're saying. You're like, okay, you're taking them, but it's not really helping the team if you're going 1 for 5 or 0 for 5. But I feel like it is because, um, yeah, going back to what I was saying, like it'll like they'll have to start like respecting him a little bit now, and then it'll open up more things. So when he come down, they don't know what he's going to do now. He's coming from predictable to unpredictable. Like, is this going to be one of his threes? Is he going to pass? Is he going to drive? Instead of like, okay, everybody get on their man. We know he gonna either pass, and I'm gonna stay on him in case he drives. Like, it just unsimplifies it when he has the ball now.
I mean, if he's taking it, it could create for others, spacing.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that's just how I look at it. But yeah, I mean, it'll just be tough, man, because what we talked about all last year, the league is different. Curry changed it, whether people like it or not. Curry has changed it. Like, it's a shooting league, and if you can't do it, it's hard to really put you over the hump. Like, I'll give Ben Simmons credit for his defense all day, but offensively, he just doesn't do it for me. You know what I'm saying? So Curry changed the league. Like, everybody taking logo threes now. Like, it's just like it's crazy. And before you say something, I'm glad you brought that up. I just want to let the world know, or our subscribers know, whoever watches this know, that Kelly Oubre is the reason why the Warriors are like 19th in the league shooting from three. If he hadn't taken zero threes this season, the Warriors would be fourth on the shooting percentage list. I just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah, yeah. So you trying to move on to the next subject?
Yeah, yeah. Jumping right into it, man. So I read some reports saying that I read some reports saying that Kyrie missed the game this last week because he just didn't want to play. And, and I found that so funny. And I talked to Kenny before the pod about it, and I believe it. Kenny said he didn't, but I believe it just based on the fact that we all know how Kyrie is. Like, the difference between him and other players is he's not afraid to say what's on his mind or how he really feels. And that's the only thing that makes me believe the statement. So, yeah, I believe that other players use low management as an excuse to why they just don't want to play that night. I think Kyrie just said straight up to Brooklyn, like, hey, yeah, I don't want to play. And I also heard that he didn't even tell his coach, Steve Nash. He told the players, like, yeah, I'm not playing tonight. God, I don't feel like playing. And I just think that's crazy. But wow.
Oh, Kyrie, I feel like something's going on with him, and he just didn't want to explain it. So he just, and obviously I feel like he should have told the coach, but Kyrie Irving's mindset might be like, I'm not telling the coach, I'm telling my teammates, the one I go out there and play with. So that might be his mindset. I'm gonna tell my partners, the guys I go out there on the floor with, and I run with, I bleed with, blah 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 blah. So that's probably why he let his teammates know. I felt like he should have let the coach know, but he did. But I think something was going on with him. I don't think he just woke up on the right side of the bed or the left side or the middle side. It was just like, I'm not playing today. I think something's going on, like, that he didn't want to explain. Like, oh, my girlfriend broke up with me, or my dog, he bit my couch, or something like that. That he didn't want to get into details with, or my mom is mad at me. It was her birthday and she got mad at me. So I think it was something that he didn't want to get in details with. So he just said, I'm not playing. And the only problem I have with it is you not telling your head coach, because to me the head coach is in charge. Why are you telling the players? I mean, to me, you shouldn't be telling the players. You should be telling your head coach, because to me the head coach is in charge. But that's the only problem I have with it, because I feel like there's something's going on. I've never heard of a player, which Kyrie is different. He's very different, but I still don't think that's normal for you to just, oh, I don't feel like hooping today. Like, no, I think something happened, like, that he just didn't want to explain. He just didn't want to get into details with. But like I say, other than not telling your head coach, that's the only problem I had with it.
I get what you're saying 100%, and it almost makes me wants to change my answer, but just based on Kyrie's mental history, as like since he's been in the league, I believe it, but that does make sense, and I could probably believe that from other players. Like even if you would have said Kevin Durant, and he's a little sensitive and weird at times, I probably would have believed it for him. But for Kyrie thinks he's above everybody else. Not even when it just comes to basketball skills or et cetera, et cetera. He just think he's above the law, the way if you want to put it that way. And I think him not telling the coach is what makes me believe it even more. For you to like not even that's like like your manager at your job. You tell your other coworkers you're not coming in today, but you don't tell your manager. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he thinks he's above the law. Steve Nash is a first year coach. He's needed to a certain extent. Like so, I think he wants to be on, and I don't even want to bring LeBron up. I hate to do it, but he wants to be on that LeBron stage so much. And even if you want to, you can even put it this way: his own teammate, the Kevin Durant stage, because I feel like Kevin will be able to get away with stuff like that because he's Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying? So and Kawhi Leonard and like he wants to be on that pedestal so bad. But the way he goes about certain things, he just always knocks himself like he takes 4 steps just to get knocked back down 7 steps. And I think he literally was just like, yeah, I don't feel like playing today. I'm not going to play. And walked into the arena, Steve Nash like, well, why aren't you dressed? Like, oh, I'm not playing. Well, you didn't tell me. Oh, okay. Like, and Kyrie, I will never take nothing away from his skill set. He's one of the most skillful ball handlers and finishers I've ever seen. But when it comes to him off the court, and don't get me wrong, I don't even want to dive into because I know he's like uh did some big things with his money, and I like he's a great person when it comes to stuff like that. But when it comes to just dealing with people in certain situations, Kyrie needs some help, man.
Um. Oh yeah, I want to get into that. You can be a horrible person just because you're rich and you donate $100,000 to a charity. You can still be a horrible person. For Kyrie Irving to donate 100,000 to a charity, that's not much to him. I don't think he hurts off $100,000. I don't think he loses sleep off of that money. So you can still be a horrible person and donate. I think people they'd be like, oh, he donated to his school or he had hoops built in his neighborhood in New York. You can still be a horrible person. So I don't want to really. I'm not going to be like, oh, this person's a good person because they donated some money. Okay, you donated money, and you're still a horrible person.
Right.
So that's how I feel on that, and that's how I feel on that though. Like you can donate money and still be a bad person. So
Well, I just wanted to point that out because if somebody in the comments say what Kyrie did, I want to let you guys know I know what he did like for the WNBA, et cetera, et cetera. I know, but I feel like he's still not the best person to like just carry certain things out. And I just feel like I feel like teams should stop picking him up. So to bring him back down to reality, like you need the NBA just as much as the NBA needs you, buddy. Probably the NBA you probably need the NBA more because if they don't pick you up, then it's like what are you gonna do? And I'm not saying because he is a very intelligent person, so I'm not even saying he won't be able to go do something else, but he claimed he loves to play basketball. So you need to start respecting the game and respecting the rules and respecting what's being laid out. Like you need to tell your coach certain things. Like I said, it's just like common sense, bro. And he doesn't get it. I used to give him a pass because he was so good at basketball, but now you're not getting a pass from me ever since the Boston incident. Like, yeah, he's just a weird dude, and I don't understand his antics.
you know, I think he's kind of like I seen this on ESPN. He's kind of like they call him Kyrie West. Like he's kind of like Kanye West. Like I think he wants the views. Like he wants the attention. So like I think he likes when people talk about him and we act like he's crazy or something. I think he's perfectly fine pretty much. I think he likes being in the news. Even when he was on the podcast with Kevin Durant and he said what he said, and then later the next day he's like, I wasn't even talking about him, LeBron. If I was talking about LeBron, I would have said his name. Yeah, you were talking about LeBron. You're trying to act like we're crazy. So I think he enjoys doing stuff like this, like Kanye West or whatever. Um, if I was Steve Nash, the head coach, or even Mike D'Antoni, one of the assistant coaches, I'd try to trade him. Get him out. Get him out because their defense, people think, oh, they're going to make the finals because Kevin Durant's a huge name, Kyrie Irving is a huge name, and they just be like two great players send them to the championship. I would trade them because their defense is awful. It's absolutely awful. You got Kyrie Irving liability. You got Joe Harris liability. That's two liabilities on the defensive end. So I would trade them. I would try to trade them a 1-for-1. Give me Paul George. That's increasing your defense, and I wouldn't say he's a better scorer than Kyrie, but he's the better defender. He's the bigger player, better rebounder, and he can give you 25 points how Kyrie could. So I would trade him, and that would help the Clippers too because he'll be replacing Patrick Beverly, which is Patrick Beverly is you just throw him out there to foul and play spot minutes. But yeah, I would if I was the head coach, if I was the coaches in Brooklyn, trade Kyrie. I would try to trade Kyrie. Give me Paul George. Give me Paul George.
You might be onto something though, because I feel like they're using this year as a test year, and if they don't make it, I think he's gonna be the first one out the door.
Oh my goodness, it makes sense for him to be the first one out of the door because with somebody like him, you're able to make a trade and still get better. So for somebody like Kevin Durant, if you trade him, you're not going to get better unless you're getting LeBron, but they're not going to do that. So pretty much what I'm trying to say is you could trade Kyrie and maybe get Jamal Murray. So it's like you're breaking even. You could trade him, get Dame. You maybe break even. You trade him, get Paul George. You're breaking even. You trade him from Bradley Beal. You're breaking even. If you trade Kevin Durant, you're probably not going to break even. So it makes the most sense to trade him because you can get a lot back for him. You're going to get a good piece for Kyrie Irving. So I would get rid of him. Give me Paul George. And I'm not even saying Paul George is better than Kyrie Irving. I'm just saying for the Nets, Paul George makes more sense because, like I said, their defense is awful. So that's what I would do if I was Steve Nash.
Yeah,
If I
like
was
that's not dumb at all. Like I would do that, and like I just told you, I would use this year as a tester year. He already starting to be weird and acting crazy and stuff. So, yep, I'll be like, okay, keep on. If y'all don't make it, at least make it to the finals, you're out of here. Like he would be gone. Like I wouldn't, because I agree with you. I mean, what has he done in his career aside from playing with LeBron? What have you done to show like you're the number one guy?
he's not a number one guy. I mean, to be honest, he really hasn't. When you win with LeBron, it kind of gets discredited. It's not fair, but that's kind of how it is. Like what you did wasn't like, oh my goodness, you're the only player that could have did that with LeBron. Steph Curry could have did it. Damian Lillard could have did it. Jamal Murray could have did it. So I'm just saying, you're easily no, you're not easily to be. He can't be replaced easily. But what I'm trying to say is he's not one of a kind. Like there's multiple point guards that are on his level. Some would say Damian Lillard is actually better than him. So it's like you're not the only great point guard. Matter of fact, I would say Lillard's better than him. And I'd probably take Jamal Murray over him too. So and I definitely take Steph Curry over him. So
Oh,
he
Steph,
keeps acting up.
best point guard in the league to me. So
Yeah, so Kyrie Irving, all you have done is score a bunch of points, which is great. I'm not downplaying it. I would love to score points in the NBA. But like when you think about it, all he really does is he doesn't really play good defense. He scores points, a lot of them, and you won a championship with LeBron James, which usually if you're playing with LeBron James, you probably are going to get a championship. So that's really not showing much. I mean, but yeah, for some reason I think he feels like he's on LeBron James level, Kevin Durant level, Steph Curry level, Giannis level. You're not. So I'm not sure why he thinks that. But
I,
you're not, Kyrie.
that's why I love watching Skip and Shannon. Like 'cause they be saying like you know like this is Kevin Durant's team, right? Like they say like they don't think he knows it's Kevin Durant's team. And I think that's what it is. And I think the reason why he wants to play with Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant's not gonna try to sun him like LeBron. And that's one thing I will say about LeBron. Like he be rubbing people's head and stuff. And then I think one of the reporters asked Kyrie like, "How has LeBron been a father figure to you?" And like,
I've seen that. I
yeah,
see.
like some stuff is OD. But at the end of the day, KD not gonna do none of that stuff. And I think that's why he wanted to, because he like KD not gonna sun me. KD probably think this is my team too. No, that's not the case. Like but yeah, like even with Boston, they had a good setup and they actually did better without him, Terry Rozier.
Oh
So
yeah.
I just think like yeah, Kyrie need to get a grip on life, man. He need to understand some certain things. But yeah, I don't know what he got going on over there, man. KD better talk to him, and it's gonna be their only year playing together.
Yeah, so I just been trying to. My point is, guys, that I think Kyrie Irving should be very careful because you could be replaced. Like I said, Jamal Murray, Damian Lillard, Stephen Curry, and I figured I knew I was forgetting one. I would take Donovan Mitchell over him. I don't know if he's considered a shooting guard, but I'm gonna say he's a point guard. I would take Donovan Mitchell over him. It's just be careful, Kyrie, because when you're LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Giannis, you're able to act up, and there's nothing people really could say because you're the best at what you do. But
Right.
Kyrie Irving, with the point guard position being so deep, you're really not the best at what you do, Kyrie. You're really not. So be very careful. And Trey Young's picking it up. Well, Trey Young always got you good numbers. Now wins are coming with it. So be very careful, Kyrie. Be very careful.
Yeah, he's trying to be with he's trying to be with tough company, but like you saying, when it comes to that, you have to put up tough company numbers and you have to do tough company things. Like we haven't seen you lead a team. That Boston team was good before you got there. Like I said, they did better when you weren't even playing. So we haven't seen you be a leader. I mean, yeah, you can score points. We already understand that. But yeah, you gotta do like I said, you have to do tough company things if you want to hang with the tough company crowd. And as of now, he hasn't done anything that shows me like he deserves to be able to not tell his coach he's not playing. Point blank. Period.
Then with like I'm saying, Kyrie, you got to be careful because you're not the best at what you do. You could be replaced. I mean, and I'm not gonna say Chris Paul is better than him due to age and whatever. But in the playoffs, I do think I would rather have Chris Paul over Kyrie Irving. So just be careful. Be careful, Kyrie, because you're a guard. Guard is the deepest position, so you could easily be replaced, Kyrie.
I agree with that too. I'll take CP3 as far as what he's been showing me lately. Like last year with OKC, I don't think Kyrie could have did that.
Right, and what Chris Paul is going to do with Phoenix? I think they're already. If there's only been about 8 games, but they're doing Phoenix is doing pretty well right now, and a big part of that is Chris Paul. I mean, just be careful, Kyrie Irving. I think you could be replaced. You're a guard that scores 30 points. Like, shoot, I would trade your behind for Bradley Beal. So just be because they kind of do the same thing. Like, I'm gonna score 30 points and I'm not gonna play much defense and I'm gonna lose. I mean, Kyrie
You gotta
Irving
show up to
wins.
the damn games ready to play.
So yeah, I would trade him for Bill too. So just be careful, Kyrie.
But yeah, that's gonna top it off, guys. You know, Kyrie got some things to work out, and I think Ben Simmons needs to start taking some threes. But that's been another episode. Like we told you, I was gonna be short. You know what I'm saying? But hey, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard, you know, regular season. We don't want to obviously react to every single game. We just kind of wait for, you know, major things to happen. That was like the latest two things that to come up, you know what I'm saying, that's in the basketball world right now. But I hope y'all have a blessed day. There's been another episode of the fourth quarter podcast, episode 22. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And we're gonna see y'all in a couple days, hopefully. Y'all take it easy.